My husband replaced me with a better woman because I refused to be a housewife. I love my husband. He's an amazing man, but we have flaws like everyone else. We both aged out of foster care and met in a youth fulfillment program, a kind of work camp that helps kids with no families learn basic life skills, finances, and certifications. We were both 18 and stayed in touch afterward. He made it clear he liked me, but at that point in my life I was terrified of men because of past experiences. I rejected him pretty harshly. Later I reached out to apologize and we became friends. A year or two after that, I saw on Snapchat that he was in my area. I asked if he wanted to go on a date so I could practice being comfortable around guys. He agreed and never made a move. Never touched me, never pushed, never made me uncomfortable. If I said no, he didn't ask again. We went on platonic dates for months. Eventually I asked him for a hug, then a kiss. After that, he asked me to be his girlfriend. We got married a year later. Our 7th anniversary is coming up. We always agreed we wouldn't even think about kids until we were older. Since we were both products of young parents, we focused on surviving, saving money, spending as little as possible, and eventually buying a house. A few months ago, we finally did. We both quit our second jobs and for the first time just worked regular 9-to-5s. I discovered I love gardening and baking. I love having a real home. Recently, we started talking about having a baby. I feel ready, still scared but ready. Then my husband brought up how sad I'd be if I had to quit my job after everything I worked for. I told him I had no plans to quit, just take maternity leave. My company even allows remote work for a year after birth. I know raising a newborn while working is a lot, but giving up the security of my paycheck isn't an option. He said this was what we worked for, to build a perfect family, better than the ones we came from, and that I was blindsiding him by changing the plan. I told him nothing had changed. I can be a mom and have a career. Plenty of women do. He doesn't have to quit his job to be a dad, so why should I? He said it wouldn't work. I said, okay, if I make more than him, $89,000 versus his $52,000, why doesn't he stay home while I work remotely after recovery? That way we keep more income and still have a parent at home. He said if I truly trusted him, this wouldn't be a problem. I told him I trust him, but I don't trust the economy. What I didn't say is that quitting my job with no savings and relying entirely on someone else feels reckless. He had plans with his parents, so we agreed to continue the conversation later. But he was angrier than I've ever seen him. I didn't understand why he just assumed I'd quit, and honestly it made me trust him less. I tend to run when things get bad, and I won't lie, this made me nervous. A few days later everything blew up. He came home and told me he met a woman at work, a better woman. She already has a son and is willing to be a stay-at-home partner. He texted me before I got off work and asked me to pick up food from one of our usual date night spots. When I got home, his car was packed with boxes. There was a woman inside the house I didn't know. I tried to open the door, it was locked. She just looked at me. He was gone. Took most of our remaining savings. Took both of our cats. I didn't see any of this coming. I haven't told my friends yet. His adoptive parents have been bringing me food I can't even eat. I haven't cried, I think I'm still in shock. I wish I had family to run to. Right now, the internet is all I have. I haven't responded to his calls or texts. He keeps asking if I'm okay. How could I be okay? I never thought he would cheat. I asked him once if there was ever someone else, just tell me as soon as he knew. But they've been together at least 6 months. So while he was calling me selfish for not quitting my job, he was building a future with her the entire time. I feel stupid. I should have pushed harder for therapy. He refused. Even his parents think he had some kind of mental break. I keep thinking I should have avoided him from the start. Chosen differently. I know this isn't my fault. I know I couldn't have stopped him. And I don't want a man who doesn't want me. But that doesn't make it hurt any less.